After Mr. Fantastic teleports an entire New York City block into the future, and the city's citizens turn against the Fantastic Four, Human Torch chooses to step away from all that mess for a while and decides to go home in disguise, dyeing his hair black and getting a regular job at a local store. Johnny then changes his name to Jonathan Fairweather and does his best to keep his true identity a secret, only using his powers when nobody was around. However, as soon as Human Torch sees that their pressure regulator was about to blow up the whole building, Johnny quickly fixes the pressure with his powers and calls his co-workers to tell them what happened, saying they should complain to the boss. But when they respond that they can't because their boss was a tyrant who would have them all deported, later Human Torch decides to visit his boss to see what he could do. And after burning a hole in Mr. Merrill's window, Johnny tells him they had a problem. But instead of being afraid, Merrill asks if Johnny had come for a rematch, revealing that years ago, when Merrill was still a thug working for a criminal, Johnny had cornered him in a warehouse and threatened to turn him into ashes unless he gave up his leader, even scaring him by burning his hair. Johnny then tries to threaten him again, but Merrill says he's learned that superheroes don't kill, adding that unless Johnny planned to cook him alive, he wanted him to leave his place, now quickly punching him in the face and kicking him out of the window. The very next day, Johnny returns to work and finds out that his visit actually only made things worse, and Merrill had cut everyone's wages by 10%. However, Johnny quickly thinks of another brilliant plan to fix everything, and after gathering his co-workers to tell them the plan and also reveal his identity, Johnny is shocked when they say they already knew who he was, since he was a terrible liar. Human Torch then says he needs their help, and after convincing everyone his plan would work, the workers start a protest in front of the store, and Johnny shows up as well to provoke Merrill, luring him into a freezer where the two finally get trapped. Johnny now threatens to burn up all the oxygen unless Merrill does what he wants, but knowing Human Torch is bluffing again, Merrill starts beating him until Johnny gives up and begs him to stop. However, just as Merrill starts insulting him, Johnny reveals it was all a distraction, and while they were trapped in there, his co-workers were stealing all his files, which Johnny was ready to send to some federal friends to take care of the problem. And after Merrill tries to burn himself on Johnny on purpose to sue him later, Human Torch simply flies out through the roof and advises him to look for a new job.